Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a salsa mac and beef dish. It's a noodle dish that I used to make before I became vegan. Today I was kind of craving it and I figured why not go ahead and give it a shot in making it plant-based. So I figured I would take you all along with me. Are you ready? Let's get started. Alright, first you're going to want to get your vegetable stock going. The original recipe called for beef stock, 2 cans, 14.5 ounces of each. So I'm going to make my own vegetable stock. It has a much better flavor than what I can find either in a can or in one of those cartons. So what I typically do, whenever I'm cutting my onions and celery and carrots, I always save the ends, or even green peppers, and I put them in a bag in my freezer and I keep them there until I'm getting ready to make some vegetable stock. This one here has some tomatoes in it too. There was a couple tomatoes that were out in my garden that kind of looked a little, not really great for salad. So I threw them in my bag and they'll make a nice addition to my broth. So first I'm gonna actually bring my pot of water to boil, add a little bit of salt, add my vegetables to that so that I can have a delicious vegetable stock. All right, while I'm waiting for my vegetable broth to simmer and to come to a boil, I'm gonna get my noodles ready. I'm gonna go ahead and measure everything out so that way I can just put it all together really quickly. I'm gonna use these cavatappi noodles. These are made from chickpeas. They're the little spiral corkscrew noodles. I really love them. I'm really excited to try the chickpea version though. So I'll let you know how those are. Sometimes I'll use a macaroni noodle, sometimes I'll use the shell noodle. So you decide whatever kind of noodle you want. You just need 2 cups of the 2 cups of the noodles. If you use shell noodles, I would probably add a little bit more. If they're on the smaller side, I would probably add around 3 cups. My vegetable broth is all finished. Here you go. You can see that. My vegetable broth is all finished, but I do need to strain it. So I'm going to go ahead and strain it into another bowl, and then I'm going to put it back into the pan. If you want, you can put these veggies in a compost, whatever you like. You can use it, cut it up and use it in something. I prefer not to. They get pretty smushy whenever they boil for a long time. So I just give my pan a quick rinse just to get some of the stuff off the edges. There we go. Then I'm going to put this back on the stove. You've got your veggies here. And then you have your nice, delicious, clear broth. I'm just going to let that sit so you can see. Look at that broth. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it is so delicious. All right, so I'm gonna put this back into my pot, and then we're gonna add our noodles to it here in just a little bit. I'm actually also getting ready to, put some meat on the stove. So I have a pan here. What I like to do is, whenever I need a substitute for beef, I love to use the Garnish brand. Their beefless ground beef is absolutely delicious. I haven't used it for this recipe yet, but I'm certain that it's gonna be good. I'm gonna I probably won't use this whole bag. Typically you would use 1 pound of ground beef. I'm probably gonna use half of this bag because I just don't feel like it's necessary to put all of this in there. But I'm gonna heat it up in a skillet. I'm gonna add a little bit of chili powder and a little cumin. So I'll show you how I add it all to the skillet and add a little seasoning to it in just a second. All right, so my water's come to a boil, and next I want to add in my noodles, and I'm also going to add in my ground beef. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my noodles and kind of give it a little bit of a stir. If you feel like it needs any more water, you can go ahead and just add like just a smidge of like regular water, or if you have extra broth, go ahead and add that in. I'm not gonna add it in just yet. I'm gonna add in my beef first and kind of see how it looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my beef with all of its spices. There we go. Give it a good stir, mix it all up. Set my pan aside here. All right, next, once this comes to another rolling boil, once you add it in, it kind of slows down the boil a little bit. Once it comes to a rolling boil and the noodles are starting to really cook, I cook them about 7 minutes or so. Let me go ahead and actually set a timer for that. There we go. It's going for 7 minutes. Normally the recipe calls for a cheddar cheese soup. Since I'm not doing any dairy and I am making this plant-based and vegan, I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of cashew cream. This I did make. It's just cashews, a little bit of water. I soak them in hot water. I drain a little bit of the water and then add it to my Vitamix with a little salt and lemon juice. So I blend it all up. Oh yes, I also add some nutritional yeast, and I'll add the recipe down below. Blend it all up, and I have this delicious creamy cashew cream, and I'm gonna add it about 3/4 of a cup, like I said, to my pot in place of the cheese. I'm also gonna add about 1/2 cup of salsa of your choice. You can use spicy, you can use smoked salsa, would be really delicious. But this is just a regular salsa. I don't like it too terribly chunky for something like this. But you can also add like a can of fire roasted tomatoes too if you wanted a little chunkier. I was just thinking a little bit ago that I've never added to this recipe black beans, but this would be a great source of added protein, which I'm gonna add a few black beans to it. All right, so I'm just waiting for my noodles to cook, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I had about 2 minutes left on my noodles, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my salsa and my cashew cream. Got a nice creamy texture going on. So I went ahead and I added my black beans, and I've let it sit for about 5 more minutes or so. I don't want my noodles to get too smushy. As you can see, here we are. It's getting nice and thick, and that's it. It's all done. You can serve it however you like. I typically sometimes will add some chives on top. You can add black olives. You can add a little crushed tortillas. I may just do that actually this time. Anyway, thank you so much for following along on this journey with me. I absolutely love this recipe and have been looking forward to turning it plant-based. I hope you all enjoy it. I will post the recipe to the cashew cream and this below. Let me know if you all try it, and thanks again for watching my channel. Bye-bye.